Everybody get your heel on. Everybody get your heel on. What? Oh, what? Am I the only one who sings to their crystals? If so, you should try it. Whether you're just starting your collection or adding to it, check out Blk Girl Crystal Bar. We have an assortment of crystals ranging from rough to polish, spheres to points, jewelry to pins. We've got a little bit of everything. Follow Blk Girl Crystal Bar on Instagram at blkgrl.crystalbar and Facebook at Blk Girl Crystal Bar. If you see something you like, just yell for the bartender and she'll serve up what you need. Well, let me get back to cleansing and charging these crystal babies. See you at the Crystal Bar.
Seriously though, I want to welcome you all to my podcast, Lessons from My Exes. This is the season finale. The only way I know how to end this season, which was a little bit of everything, is with none other than the man that does it all, Enoch, Seven Prophet. Give it up. Give it up, y'all. Dang, my studio audience went upstairs. my studio audience went upstairs. I told them, if the language get crazy, I got to go.
Let's
So
do it.
the studio audience went upstairs because they are children. So
Right. Well,
but
it's all good. It's all
you
good.
know,
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
of course, thank you for coming.
I definitely appreciate it.
I appreciate
It's
you coming.
yeah, I definitely appreciate the time. So, I'm here. I'm here. What
You
do what it do?
here making me look bad. You know what I'm
How?
saying? He
How?
got the full setup, I didn't even give y'all that tonight. I just was like, you know what? If I had to give y'all my AirPods. If I put my headphones on and stuff, it's gonna mess up my look. It don't match. So
Right. See, I got the matching headphones with the shirt. Bong. We out here. Got my little chain on.
can I just say thank you for using your and matching with me with the earth tones. Thank you
You're
so much.
absolutely welcome. I appreciate that.
Thank you for tapping in.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. I just try to coordinate when I
You know what I'm
can.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
But
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
I'm not here to make you look bad. I was gonna actually like text you like, hey, should I be on my phone or computer? Because I know last time I did something with the phone, it wasn't acting proper. So I was just like, you know what? Let me rock
Well,
with this.
I think your setup is amazing. I
Thank you. I
think
appreciate it.
that, yeah, of course.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh man, so let's get into this. Well, first and foremost, because I already know how we are, I'm probably gonna end up doing a break at the 30-minute mark, to put your commercial for mental salvation in, and then
Okay.
we'll come back from there. Only because putting this up on YouTube, they're gonna be like, damn, this is a long ass interview. So I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
go
have some
ahead.
issues on the tube.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down in the 30-minute mark and make it so that we can have a good little space in between. And also, when the listeners hear this interview, they'll hear it tomorrow,
Right.
which is the Wednesday, which is what date is that?
When's the 23rd?
So they'll hear the 23rd, and then they'll hear the second half on the 20s. What is that? Y'all,
The
just deal
20
with it.
what? 26?
I think so. Y'all know next
You
week
need an
anyway.
assistant. You need an assistant or something.
My assistant is upstairs.
She's fired. Fire her. Fire him or her immediately.
She's upstairs because I told her the language might get a little crazy,
Right.
and because
It
my
might.
assistants are both minors. I know how
Yeah.
we are, so I just was
Right.
like, y'all got to keep it moving like we did when Marlon was here. The only one they were a part of was when I had chaos, and that was because it was in my home, and they would come down every once in a while. And also, there was no language,
Right.
because I try to respect him because my language.
Yeah, he's a sailor. Pew.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just get into this. Enoch,
Yes.
who are you? Who is Enoch Seven Prophet? Let the viewers know, and for the people that already know, reintroduce yourself.
My name's Enoch Seventh Prophet. I am first a I'm a spirit first, and then I am a physical being. So
Mm.
we have to start from there because we all kind of know. I kind of know myself, but I'm still learning myself daily. Like it's like, damn, I thought I knew that, and then shit just goes left, and I have to bring it back. So Enoch 7 Prophet is, as I said before, spiritual being first, and then physical. Comes to physical, I'm an artist. I am a dad. I'm an uncle. I'm a son. I'm a friend. Um, I'm an artist. I'm a photographer. So I'm a lot of things mixed into one person. So I try not to limit myself, but being human, sometimes I do because I just can't handle everything at one time. So that's me in a nutshell. I am dedicated. I'm a loyal friend. Um, I can hold water. So if someone tells me something and it's like, yo, I'm a listening ear. Sometimes I would say that may get me in trouble in most cases, not in bad trouble, but it may get me in the case of taking on too much, listening to too many things at once, or listening to people's stories more than one time and trying to figure them all out. And I had to learn myself and say, okay, I'm a listening ear. That's all this person needs me for. They don't need nothing else. So yeah. So I think that's it. Hopefully the listeners is following what I'm saying.
You was everything, basically.
Everything.
I ain't
Everything
mad
you
at it.
need,
I ain't
I
mad at
got
it.
it.
I'm not mad at it. So
Word.
how did you get the name Enoch 7 Prophet? Is that your birth name, or was that a given name?
That is not my birth name. That is not my birth name.
You ain't
My
got to
birth.
tell us your government unless you want
No. Yeah, absolutely. Unless I want to. I appreciate that. But that's
to.
not my that's not my born name. It is my spiritual name here in the physical. So Enoch was actually, I always tell this story and I always tell it the same way because it keeps me on point with my storytelling. So
Okay.
I was invited to come to Augusta, Georgia to do a show. And we rode the Greyhound bus from DC to Augusta. When I got to Augusta and I stepped off the bus, a good friend of mine, his name is Freedom Black. When I stepped off the bus, he was like, yo, God, you look like Adafa. And I was like, who's Adafa? He was like, are you reading the Holy Tablets? I was like, yeah, I'm reading the Holy Tablets. He said, well, when you get to a certain chapter, you will know who I'm talking about. His name is Adafa. Because at this point, I was going through my own like spiritual phases with the hair and the facial hair and the locks and everything. I was going through that particular phase. So I must have looked like someone from the tabs that he was reading. So when I got to that part of the tablets, the holy tablets, I came across Adafa, the secret of Adafa. And Adafa's name in rhythm is Adafa. His name in other spiritual tongues is Enoch or Idris. And Idris is from the Holy Quran. He's called, and Enoch has so many attributes with himself. So I was like, damn, Enoch was, in biblical, Enoch was the one who walked with God. He didn't have to die. He was taken up, him and Elijah. People know the story. People know the story. So I was like, well, I'm going to call myself Enoch because I'm going to walk with God without, I shouldn't have to die to walk with God because I walk with God daily. So I'm going to call myself Enoch. So I added on the seventh prophet to it because everyone was calling themselves Enoch. They were calling their dogs Enoch. They were calling there was this name out. They were just throwing this damn name around like it was just useless.
All right.
So I added seventh prophet to it because Enoch is the seventh seed of Abraham. And my last name is Stevenson. So if you take out the T, you will have seven son. So I was like, oh, okay, that's dope. It's kind of, yeah, I like that. So seventh son. So I was like, all right. And all of us are prophets, prophetess, women, prophets, men, all of us are that. And I consider myself a prophet because we're doing this hip hop. We're writing down prophecy. As a songwriter, you're writing down prophecy, not knowing if it's going to happen or when it happens. But when it happens, you're already foresee what is going on as an artist. So I just stuck with that. Enoch 7 Prophet. People want to put the in it. I'm like, nah. I was actually training people to take the out. Like, it's just Enoch 7 Prophet. Don't put the in it because that's going to mess up my Google search. When you're trying to Google my name, Slim, you're going to mess up my Google search. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I came about with the name Enoch. And it's just, it grew from there.
I like that.
Yeah, it grew from there. And it was like, I just took on that. You know, when I tell people my government name, they're like, nah, I'd rather call you Enoch. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what I want you to call me anyway. You know what I mean? So it's certain people can call me by my government and certain people can't. So it's just it's like a whole little vibration with that. You know,
Yeah.
it's so even working a 9 to 5, my checks say something else, but in the office, you're calling me Enoch. And everybody knows that. So
Come on. Let's
and
go.
matter of fact, I cashed a check with Enoch like El Shemesh on it. I cashed a check at my bank. I was like, whoa, let's go. Let's go. Let's make this happen, Captain.
You are, you know what? I'm gonna mess with you tonight. I'm not doing it.
So that's how. You know, I have a question for you.
Absolutely. You're
So
the second guest that questioned me on my show.
absolutely, we gonna keep it rolling because the title of your podcast and your show is called Lessons from My Exes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not your ex. Like, how does that work? Like,
So, so lessons from my exes. The podcast is not based on exes like relationships. It's
right,
based on exes as in experiences. So let's say, for instance, yeah, a lot of people thought this was now. Let me give credit where credit's due. A person
right,
I was dating, actually inspired this podcast because they would do and say things that I was like, what? Where did you get this from? It's like, oh, because of what I've been through in my life. This is why I think like this. And then
right,
I started to think like, yo, I've experienced this more than I would like to. Like everybody has their own life experience. And when you get with someone, you take on whatever they've learned. You know what I
true,
mean?
yeah,
So it's like you kind of have to be the type of person that's open to any and everything if you want something to be successful because everybody has their own experiences, but it's all in how you take their experience and make it work for you or not. Because it could be
right,
your thing or it can't be a thing, right? So at the time, me and this person didn't work out, but it inspired me to do this because I used to give relationship advice at the place I worked
mm-hmm.
and just regular advice. And they used to always say, you should make a podcast. Like I would listen to it. And I'm like, okay, I can't make a relationship only though, because I've been through more in my life than just relationships. Like I've seen a lot. So
Right,
I was like, it should be based on experience. It should be relationship based, experience based, life based, energy based,
mm-hmm.
everything. So
Got you.
when I decided to make this podcast, I didn't go into it relationship only. I went into it experience only. So you are someone in my life that I've had an experience with or experiences with. So that's why you're here.
Okay,
But
that makes sense. I got you.
you don't be like, oh, I'm not your ex, like it's a bad thing or something.
Oh no,
Because all my exes,
live in Texas.
baby, you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. It's not a bad thing. I was just wondering. That's all. I was
Because you
just
almost tried to shade. It's like you tried to shade me on my show.
never,
I'm gonna be like Enoch.
never. I would never do that. Not in public.
So what you trying to say? You trying to say when it's in private, you won't shade me?
No, I would never do that. No, no. I would praise you in public. Praise you in public and shame you in private. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, Lonnie. I'm just playing. You good?
Hi, hi, hi. So getting getting back to you, and I also want to let you know if you feel compelled to ask me anything else, if something has sparked you to ask me something,
Mm-hmm.
please by all means do so, because which we are going to get into at some point in this
Right.
podcast. We're going to get into your podcast, Mental Salvation, and how you got into. Matter of fact, let's go there now. Let's, since it's already on the top of my mind, let's just go there now, and then we'll move back into where I was going to go originally. But your
Okay.
podcast, Mental Salvation Radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you had this podcast for some years, but you've recently branched off and decided to do Salvation Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
which is more based on just, speaking to women entrepreneurs and women who are in our community doing great things.
Right.
What inspired that? Because it's not often that you have a man who says, you know what, I want to dedicate my Sundays to these, interviewing these beautiful women and what they do.
Right. Right. That's a good question because just like you, that sparked the idea for your podcast. Norita Graves, who is a native from North Carolina, who now
Mm.
lives in Germany, and I do a lot of social media stuff for her.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of social media stuff for her because she's a singer songwriter such as yourself. She's always on tour and things of that nature too.
Yeah.
And just getting her used to interviewing and being on the camera, because some artists they don't like the camera. They rather just perform and bounce. They
Yeah.
not really they not really into social media as you and I are. So um I was talking to her on the phone one day and I was like, yo, we should do an interview with you. I should do an interview with you so you can just post it on your page so people can, you know what I'm saying? So your fans, your supporters can know that you were still out here touring, you still doing your
Mm.
thing. Boom, boom, boom. And she was like, Enoch, are you sure you think that'll work? I was like, yeah, I think that'd be dope. We'll just do it on Mental Salvation Radio. And she was like, all right. So I was like, when you want to do it? She was like, let's do it Sunday. I said, okay, what time? She was like, she gave me a time, but her times are a little off than ours are.
Yeah.
that night, that night when we got off the phone, I was like, I'm gonna call it Salvation Sundays because it ties in with mental salvation. And I still want to
Mm-hmm.
keep that monarch. I still want to keep that brand. Salvation Sundays. What do a lot of black people, well, black folks do on Sundays? We either are somewhere holy. We either at some people are at church, some people are at the mosque, some people are meditating, some people are doing
Mm-hmm.
yoga, some people are praying to the orishas, some people are just, in their own spiritual bubble, their spiritual essence. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm gonna call it Salvation Sundays and I'm just gonna interview black women. I'm just going to interview black women because that's all I know. I never was never raised with a white woman, so I don't know how that shit. I don't know how that shit feel. So she was out. She was my very first guest, and it went well. And I was like, damn, this might be the thing. I think I want to do this. So I
Yeah.
started putting the word out there. I text you, I emailed you, I emailed a lot of other of my good friends to bring them on to talk to them, and it just started to like snowball effect. And that's when I was like, I just want to tap into the entrepreneurial spirit of the black woman because she has a story to tell. I
Mm.
can't tell it. She's the only one that can tell it. So why not bring her on and just dedicate my page to black women and Salvation Sundays? You know, and it's been going great. It's been very eye opening to sit and talk to people I know and those I don't know
Yeah.
and not write down any questions. Like everything is off the top, and it's just like a conversation that we're having, and it's been some memorable moments, and then just interviewing my youngest guest ever was Lyric Sunshine, and having her on there kind of made it more um concrete because she's still a girl, she's a
Yeah.
growing female, you know what I'm saying? So having all the adults on here and she's tapping into the show. I see her tap into the show sometimes just to see what is going on, and just to have a Black woman on there talking Black woman shit and empowerment, and she can even see it just for a little bit and understand, like, oh, that's an author. Oh wow, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that. Oh, that's a doctor, or that's a singer songwriter, or she does what mom. These are things that were pertinent to me, and I just wanted to bring that to light. So Salvation Sundays, I think I've done about 23, 24 episodes of that already.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I did about 24 episodes of Salvation Sundays already, and it hasn't been a year yet. So it's
Every
doing
Sunday consistently.
every Sunday. And if I don't have a guest, I try to jump on and just, talk a little bit, but it's not about me. I'd rather have guests on there. So starting at the top of July, I'm going to have more guests on there, and just have a platform for Black women to just express herself.
I love that. I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, because it's not often that you see that, so that's what makes it amazing. And just giving Black women a platform to speak
Mm-hmm.
and be able to, talk about the different things that they have going on and they're doing in our community. A lot of them by themselves with no help, no assistance, really. So
Right.
getting it to a wider audience is a lot of, even easier. And then also all of the guests get to connect with each other as well and, you know,
They
network.
do. And network
So,
and network
hmm
because I think my last guest that I had on there, oh man, I can't remember her name right now. But at any rate, the last guest that I had on Salvation Sundays, I'm gonna try to find it. She brought something to my attention that I kind of didn't look with the third eye. I just kind of looked over
hmm
it. And we
hmm
were talking about how society accepts um she used the term fat because she was comfortable with using that term. She said,
hmm
how I was like, how does society, how do you feel that society treats the overweight, or the big boned, or she was like fat. I was like, yeah, how does, how do you feel that America treats fat, Black women who are fat? And she used a great example of Lizzo. And the great example that she used was that people are like in their have their panties in a bunch because Lizzo is doing this. She's wearing clothes that are too small and blah 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 blah. But there is a girl her size, a little girl that see that and makes it all right for her to feel comfortable in the skin that she's in. It
I
makes her
agree.
comfortable enough to wear what she want to wear and not feel and not get body shamed about it, right?
Yeah.
I said, damn, that makes sense because my person that I looked up to in music was Heavy D. Heavy D was a fat boy. He was a big boy, fat boys as well. And I was
Yeah.
a chunky fat kid too. And I was like, damn, Heavy D dancing. I want to be like Heavy D. Heavy D
Heavy D
wore
was the
nice
man.
clothes. He was the man. He had all the ladies. I was like, I want to be
hmm
like Heavy D. Let's go.
Yeah,
So
Heavy D
I
is the man.
Heavy D is
So
he was the man. So mental Salvation Sunday brought out a lot of interesting concepts and thoughts, and shed some light on a lot of other things that people that we didn't know about ourselves. So I think
yeah,
Salvation Sundays is a good look because it allows Black man and a Black woman to talk, have an exchange conversation. And you was on it too, so I appreciate you coming through that jump
thank
and
you.
running them numbers up. I said, damn. I, when I post
I wish
things
I
of
got to
me,
talk more. My interview was so quick.
well, you can come back. You can come back. You can always come back. It's your home. You just, hey, Enoch, I want to. What's up? We can
Well,
make it
what's up?
happen.
Let me
Let's
know.
let's make it happen. We can make it happen Sunday. What you talking about?
Say less. What I'm doing Sunday before I say that.
Oh God,
Before I say less. Let me wait a second. What I'm doing
say less.
Sunday. I don't think I'm doing anything. So say less. So
Okay. Wait,
all right.
wait. I think I'm doing something because the 27th I am. We'll talk about that later. But go ahead. Oh boy.
All right, so so we're moving along. We're at the 25 mark, so we're gonna get into this next subject, and then after that, we'll take a commercial break. So,
Okay.
but let me just say this too. I did see that episode that you're talking about. I want to say her name is Imani. Is it
Yes.
Imani? Yeah,
Yes.
because I know her because she's one of the girls who do the audio. She does one of the audio
For black girls or black something? For black
yeah,
podcasters?
she does the audio podcast.
Okay.
The
Okay. Got
like
you.
the drama audio podcast.
Oh, okay. Right. Because she did bring up another friend of a friend of yours as well who does the
Crystal
yes.
Experience
Yeah.
J, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um
Yep. Imani
but
Internet.
yeah,
Yep.
yep. Yeah,
She's dope
Imani is
sister.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's
dope.
amazing. I've
She's very
always
dope.
always liked her confidence and her appreciation for her body and her willingness to just be herself no
Mm-hmm.
matter what. And you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, there is kids watching, there are other women watching, there are people watching that may not have that confidence, but seeing someone else makes it a little bit easier to be comfortable in your skin. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. It
So,
sure does.
because, because see, I had the complete opposite because I've always been little. Like I tell most people, I was 89 pounds my whole life. Like seriously, like all through high school, all through middle school, all of that, just
Mm-hmm.
bony. But I didn't like being bony. I was little, right?
Right.
But I ain't. But you know, everybody's like, what are you talking about? Like, you have like the perfect body. This is what everybody want. I'm thinking, y'all do? Y'all want to look like Skeletor?
They want that. They want that.
I didn't like it. I was very insecure growing up. I felt very alone, even though
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have obviously the same struggles. The struggles I had was way different because everybody was like, no, I want to look like you, but
Right.
I didn't want to look like me. So yeah,
You
you
didn't
get
want to
on
look
both
like you.
sides.
Yeah, you do. You do. I mean,
Not at all.
me
I
being a chubby
didn't.
kid in high school, me being a chubby kid from day one, from like elementary, middle school, high school. I didn't start.
You were so cute though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
But I can understand that because you will get as a fat kid, you're gonna get poked at. So you gotta find a way to flip the script and poke fun of yourself first before somebody get at you. So that's how kind of I made my way through middle school and high school, was making fun of myself and then not allowing someone else to say something that I didn't already know. Like she even
Mm,
pointed out to the fact of she was got in an argument with somebody and they was like, that's why you fat. That's all you got.
really?
Like I
Yeah.
know
Like,
that though, but
give me
that's all
something
you
I
got.
don't got. Like, give me something I don't know.
Yeah, like let's go. So people are stupid. So it's just,
People will
you know,
always listen. Will always and forever be stupid. They always got something to say, but you know
always.
what I'm saying. It's because they don't like themselves.
That's all. It's all good.
But you were getting into since we were talking about that. I was going to ask you, what was your youth like? What was it like growing up as Enoch Seven Prophet? Since you were talking about being an overweight child, um, what are some of the other struggles you had growing up, or what kind of things did you face growing up in your era that you grew up in?
Um, damn. I think for me,
I listen to your music, so I'm
shit's a
like,
loaded question. That shit loaded. That shit loaded.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I listen to your music, so I know you talked about a lot of different things in
right.
your music. So especially the Reagan era album.
Right. I definitely appreciate that. Cause yeah, the Reagan era album, was basically like an autobiography of my life. Like
Hmm.
just writing it to the effect of this is what happened to me. I need to actually write it down lyrically so you can actually see it. That was
Hmm.
my goal and the beats, like everything King did with the production, it was like movie. It was like a movie, like a theme music. So I had to write it in such a way and add a real life story to it. I can't do it any other way
Yeah.
because I tell people this all the time. after my divorce, my writing became phenomenal. Like, I
Let
don't
me break
know.
that down as a question later.
I don't know what it
We'll go
was,
back to that.
but me growing up, I said it in Reagan era, my dad died in the Reagan era. He was selling the dope and he was doing the dope.
Mm.
I'm a church child. So I was raised in the church. My grandma is and was a pastor of the church that I was going to. So put
You a
that in
PK
your
like me.
PK. So put that in your mind
Mm.
for all you PK kids. Y'all understand what I'm about to say. For those who have no clue, hold tight for 1 minute and just listen. So growing up in that era, my mom was on drugs. My stepdad was on drugs. My father sold dope and did dope. Wow. So certain things when living with my mother, I didn't know what's going on. I know I always ate. I know I had a place to sleep. Always took a bath. That shit was always taken care of. The extracurricular stuff she did as a child, that shit don't register to you.
Yeah.
So something happened that my mom had to just leave the area. So she gave me to my grandma. That's the righteous thing she could have ever did. And that was the smartest thing she ever, you know what I'm saying? That was the smartest thing to do. So I was my grandma was my legal guardian now. So my mom was like, I'm not gonna put you in the system. Shit, I may never see your ass again. So I'm gonna give you the grandma. So my mom was still around though. Don't get me wrong, she was still around. I was still seeing her, but my mom was so deep in the streets. My grandma was the guardian. So raising a household with my grandma and my two aunts. And I said that in a rhyme. Grandma and my two aunts. I went to church all the time. Sunday, Wednesday, Friday nights, Saturday for like YPI, whatever the young people night. You in church all damn day.
Whew, my Lord.
So by being in church, what is a young boy with all this energy to do? Grandma started buying me drum sets, bongo drums, guitars, and I started learning how to play the drums by ear. So now I'm the only musician in the church. And I'm the only boy right now because I'm around a bunch of women. So my childhood was, in a nutshell, street knowledge paired with spiritual knowledge. And to have those two, you're a dangerous person.
Whew.
To have street knowledge and spiritual knowledge, you dangerous. You're a dangerous person because you can balance both worlds and bring that spiritual world into the street world, and people can get it. People kind of understand it. So that was me growing up in the nutshell. I got a lot of ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of detention. I got a lot of, school wasn't my best friend, so I got pushed back. I got put into a learning disability class because
you was bad.
Bad. They said I didn't do my work. I'm a boy. You know what I mean? I was whatever. So I got put in those particular classes because those are people who are mentally handicapped, they say, in the learning disability class. You're in one class fucking all day. You eat Slim, you eat Slim, let me tell you something. If my good friend Terrence the comedian watches this, me and him was in the same damn class. He would tell you this is like a Roach Motels. One way in,
Oh my God.
And one way out that jump, man. You in the class though. I mean, 7 periods, slim.
Mm-hmm.
6 of those
Oh my
periods, you in that motherfucker.
God.
And the last period, you in gym. You're not gonna have gym in the classroom. You eat lunch in that bitch, everything.
Oh yeah. Oh my
I
God.
says, I gotta get up out of this damn class because this shit is not the business. So, even I was kind of like one of those kids and that would always be in the back of the classroom writing rhymes but putting my name in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So my teacher told me in junior high, her name was Miss Bryant. I would never forget her. Miss Bryant said, "Son, I will be surprised if you make it past 21 and graduate college." I'm 47. I graduated college and I saw Miss Bryant in Whole Foods.
Oh.
Miss Bryant wasn't looking too good. So I didn't seem to me that karma or something got a hold to Miss Bryant because she wasn't looking good. So I let her go. So, but yeah, that was my childhood. I was the only child up until 1990. My mom decided to have a girl to ruin everything. Like, not the only no more. Damn. Thanks a lot, moms. But then my mom got off drugs too. So it was so many things that happened simultaneously when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She stopped using and she hasn't went back ever since. So I give thanks for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we still have a good relationship. There was rocky times there, but we got over it because, you only get one mom and shit.
Speak.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was my life in a nutshell.
Okay, y'all, we are now at 38 mark. So I think it's a good place to take a break. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go play a commercial, and then we'll be back with Enoch 7 Prophet to give us some more.
Give me some more.
Oh my God.
Give me some more.
Y'all understand, like, just wait till we come back from the commercial break. I'm gonna tell y'all a story.
Oh man.
We'll be back after this commercial, y'all.
We shall. Mental Salvation Radio, Enoch 7th Prophet, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on Wow U Radio. That's www.wowradio.net. You're going to hear some uplifting music and a little bit of storytelling. Yeah. Hey.
No matter what you tell me, I'm not coming back. And even if you beg me, I can't fall for that.